Bear down.
So as we go through this NFL offseason, of course, the debate of whether Caleb Williams should be the number one pick, who will be picking him at number one, all of that continues to go on. And him, as well as other QBs in the draft, being dubbed as generational is going to be a hot topic throughout the offseason. Now, I recently came across one article written by a former scout, Daniel Kelly, who writes for Sports Illustrated. This article I saw was on firstroundmock.com. I'm not sure who he wrote the article for exactly, but in this article, he had a very different scouting report and opinion on Caleb Williams than you hear in the mainstream media. So we'll get into breaking down what he had to say. But before we get started, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to make sure you stay locked in to Draft Capital Sports, where we provide all the NFL draft news, NFL offseason news, trades, etc. for your 2024 NFL offseason. Now let's get back to the video. Now, Daniel Kelly does have credentials to have an informed opinion, I would say. He's a former NFL scout who spent 4 years in pro scouting with the New York Jets and brings vast experience scouting pro and college talent. He's appeared in many major publications, the New York Times, USA Today. He's the author of a book, Whatever It Takes, the true story of a fan making it to the NFL. So he has a lot of experience in the NFL and in scouting. And this doesn't make his opinion right, because I know a lot of what he said is polarizing and is going to be very debated, and some people are going to frown at it. And I didn't agree with everything that he said, but I'll get into some of the points he made in his scouting report of Caleb Williams at quarterback. God-given raw arm strength and elite ability to extend the play. I definitely agree with that. He has both of those. He's underdeveloped at the finer points of the position. I definitely agree with that. He tends to hold the ball too long and to lock in with receivers. That sounds familiar. A lot of rookie quarterbacks struggle with that. A lot of young quarterbacks struggle with that. Now, Caleb did improve on that in 2023, as in 2022, his time holding the ball was average 3.44 seconds. That improved to 3.21 in 2023. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a big difference. Williams has regressed from 2022 into 2023. A lot of factors. I've covered some that did lead into that regression, but it is a true thing. Harder schedule was one of them, though. He has had 32 fumbles in 36 games. That is a lot, especially for a guy. He's not really a running quarterback like Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson. So there's a lot of fumbles. That would also lean into offensive line play a little bit. But some of it is just being careless with the ball, especially when he's scrambling. He tends to just hold the ball in one hand and not protect it very well. Kelly also got into his post-game conduct, where he refused to shake hands with Utah after the game. He refused to talk to reporters after the UCLA loss. I'm not too hard on people refusing to talk to reporters, but as a professional, it is a part of your job. You get paid to do that as well as play the game. So that emotional part is something he's definitely going to have to grow, mature from. And this is why I like Ryan Poles as a GM, is that he puts a heavy value and emphasis on the character of the player. And not because the Bears are trying to turn their football organization into a church, but because it does matter not only in the performance of a professional sport, but also in the performance of being a professional and being part of a corporation off the field. It also helps you in just dealing with the game and becoming a winner in a very competitive sport and business. Now, it is tough to be hard on 22, 23-year-old players and athletes and young people, but at the same time, refusing to shake hands after a game, that's childish. So Williams, the most polarizing thing that Kelly said in his article is his summation was that Williams is too undisciplined, moody, and immature to ever realize his potential. Now, that statement I do not agree with. To say to ever realize his potential, he's, I think, trying to be polarizing there, trying to get attention. He is a media member now, former scout. That's important to remember. But the undisciplined and moody thing and immaturity, it is there. It is there, but Patrick Mahomes was undisciplined in college too, as far as throwing the ball into coverage, making risky passes, making risky decisions with the football, especially trying to go downfield when it wasn't there. If you look at Lamar Jackson in the AFC Championship game, the interception he threw, that was playing hero ball, not a pass he should have thrown. If you look at Brock Purdy, the interception in the Detroit game, in that situation, you kind of want to eat the ball when he threw that interception, even though they won the game. That could have cost them the game if the one interception that he almost threw as well downfield doesn't bounce off the defensive back's face. And honestly, this is the problem I have with Justin Fields when I watch his tape, is I think the reason he holds the ball is because a lot of times he's trying to play hero ball. He doesn't want to take what the defense gives him in the short and intermediate routes, and he wants to get the first down all in one play. Now, this comes from being a very talented player in college and being able to get away with those things, and just having to come to the realization that you are never going to be able to do that again in the NFL. It's not the way the NFL game goes, and younger players have to learn this over time. It really takes coaching to get that out of them, and he hasn't had it thus far. That's the problem. He hasn't had an experienced coach to really work with him and get him to understand how to use his skill set to be successful in the NFL long term. And speaking of Justin holding the ball too long, one thing that Kelly did mention in his article as well is that Justin Fields did lead the league, the NFL, in the slowest time for getting rid of the ball, which was 3.23 seconds. Now that's 0.2 seconds longer than Caleb Williams' best time, which was this past season, which was 3.21 seconds, which I already mentioned. Now that's against college competition versus pro competition. And as I already stated in the last video that I made, USC doesn't face the toughest defenses in college football at all, like not even close. So the one thing that is most interesting to me is how similar Caleb Williams and Justin Fields are in skill set, with the exception of Fields, of course, being a better runner and having a bit of a better arm than Williams does as far as accuracy down the field. But the most important part of Justin Fields' game is his leadership ability, his ability to keep a cool head, and his ability to get to the next game and not be emotional and not have a maturity issue. And he has improved on being more disciplined with the football. And listen, this is a natural maturation process that that quarterbacks go through coming into the NFL. Now, every situation is not the same, and I do understand Bears fans not understanding the quarterback position because they just really never had a really good quarterback other than maybe Jim McMahon, and that's most of us weren't even born when he was playing with the Bears. So the development of the quarterback position has been the Achilles heel of the Chicago Bears organization. And that gets into what my next video will be. And yes, it hurt me to make the video as you look on the screen right now, because it is the blueprint of the Bay, how to develop a franchise quarterback. And one organization that has gotten that right time and time again, it pains me to say, as a born and bred Chicagoan, the Green Bay Packers. I know Bears fans, you're going to see Green Bay Packers on the thumbnail, and you're not going to want to click on the video. But trust me, you're going to want to understand what it takes to develop a quarterback and develop a quarterback over and over again, and where the Bears and why the Bears have fallen short in doing so. And unfortunately, our chief rival, and another one of our chief rivals, which is the San Francisco 49ers, two of them throughout history anyway, are very good at developing quarterback, and we will go into why they are great at it and we are not. And a lot of it has to do with the decision of the Bears having the number one pick and so many people wanting to draft Caleb Williams at quarterback. So thanks for watching the video. Comment below what you think. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching. We out. Draft Capital Sports. Peace.